Welcome to Yeet Talk, George. No LinkedIn bullshit, no grind life, just real conversations with people about money, regrets, and what they have to sacrifice to do what they do. I'm Michael Spinelli, and today I'm sitting down with George Karam, owner of GK Limousine in Sparkill, New York. He's been running wedding transportation and limousine services in Rockland County since 1986. George, you ready for this?
Yes, I am.
All right, let's get into it. So, how did you get into this, George? Like the real story, not the
The
LinkedIn
real,
version.
no, the real story is I was getting married, and my mother-in-law at the time, told me that her daughter could not marry a taxi driver. So I said, "Oh my God, what do I do? I like to drive." So, and I only went for 1 year of college. So I said, "Hmm." So I went to a limousine company, and I worked there for 2 years. Drove a lot of celebrities, got offered a lot of private chauffeur jobs, and one of my customers asked me if I'd be interested in driving him privately. And when he asked me that, it was a coincidence because my company, Dave L, was going like sort of like a co-op. I had to buy their car and only work with their clients. But I wasn't an employee of them. I was an independent operator, but I had to follow their rules. So I didn't like that idea. So I told my client, Joe Binowitz, okay, get the limo. And he told me that I can use it when I wanted, anytime. And just when he needed me, I had to be there. So I figured, let's go for it. I did that for 2 years. And then he moved to Florida. And then I kept the limo, made some payments to him. And then from there, I went to a hotel called the Ritz-Carlton, worked with the hotel for a couple of years. Worked with not the hotel, worked with the doorman first. And then I'm with the doorman. And then one night, a guy gets in my limo, and he liked the way I had my limo set up with Coronas, with the lime and the tissues,
All the stuff.
all the quirks. And all of a sudden, he gets out of the car, and he asks me the name of my company, and then he tells me he was the general manager, the new general manager. I got a little nervous because I'm working with a doorman, and I don't think I'm in trouble.
Yep.
He goes to me, I want you to give me a proposal the next Monday, was Saturday night, Monday morning. I didn't know how to do that. So I went to the Village Voice, hired these two guys. They interviewed me. Cost me $500. Remember that? It was a lot of money.
That
But
is
it's
a
worth
lot
it.
of money back then.
Yeah, but I got the hotel. So I went from one limousine to like 6 limousines in a year.
That's dynamite.
And that's how I started my company. And then from there, I went from the Riverdale, the Bronx, to Rockland County. And now I've been doing it since 1987, I think it was. I
Yeah.
started.
Yeah.
That's it. That's how I started.
I love it. What's the gap between how your business looks from the outside and how it feels to you on the inside?
You mean the outside competition? You mean more or less?
Or like the customers, they call you up and they're like, all right, he's gonna come get me. But for you, maybe it feels slightly different. Like, you work 24 hours a day, right?
Yeah, but you know what, Mike? I always felt blessed
Hmm.
because I never felt I worked my whole life. I feel like I've been hanging out.
Oh my gosh, I
'Cause I
love
got
it.
my customers. They know me. They know my son since he was a year old. Now he drives them.
Hmm.
And to me, taking somebody to the airport and shooting the breeze with them, hanging out with them. I mean, it's like I'm not working. The only hard part's getting up in the morning, maybe.
Oh,
That's
for
it.
sure.
But that's it.
You,
And I love it because I mean, I got so many connections, so many contacts,
right?
people, for a lot of years. I've been driving customers for 40 years, 35 years. I still have them,
Oh my gosh,
you
the
know.
same people.
Yeah, one of my customers lives in the Bronx, and their son is the sheriff of Suffolk County. Tulin, his name is Errol Tulin. Unbelievable. For 35 years, I've been driving this couple. And I just had the father this morning. Took him to the doctor. So it's incredible. I feel good. I get nervous because I'm getting old, and I want my son to take over.
Absolutely.
I don't want all my 35 years of hard work just to sell to some company.
Huh.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't want to
All
do
your
that.
connections.
Yeah, all my contacts.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to finesse my son. Right?
Good.
I think I'm gonna wheel him in.
Is his first initial G?
No, he's Alberto. My
Okay.
daughter Gianni, I think maybe she will do it because
Oh.
she likes to hustle.
Well, yeah. And then she'll have to do that hyphenated thing, or at least keep the Karam going.
That's it.
What's different? Because I imagine in this span, everything has changed, even in the last 5-10 years. But what's different about rolling a limo now versus when you first started?
Oh, well, stretch limousines is very popular in the 80s. Oh my God! Now nobody only for weddings. You know, now the SUVs are popular.
Okay.
They make an SUV limo, but in the old days, I used to love driving a stretch. And then I got to tell you a story. In the old days, Studio 54 was a club that nobody can get in. It was the hottest club in Manhattan. So what I would do is I would pull my stretch in the back of the line, charge these people like $15, $20 to get in the car, and I'll go around the block, and then when I pull them in front, they let them in because they
Oh, what a hustle. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's smart.
I did that. Oh, I also used to give. I used to work with the doorman, but then I would go to the Broadway show. When people coming out of the theater, they couldn't get a taxi. It's in New York when it rains or when it's cold, and I would be there, and I'd have 5 guys next to me hustling with me, but they weren't as good as me because I would tell the people. The first question I would say, "Where to?" And if they told me a good hotel, I knew they had money.
Yep.
So then I would say to them, "It's free." Free? Yeah, it's not me. Don't worry about it. They get in my philosophy was, you got to get in my car. Once you're in my car, you're mine for life.
That's right.
35
years.
Yep, I got to get you in. And these guys would get so upset because they say free, and then I would look at their shoes, the way they dress.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
knew right away
These are all things. The watch.
And instead of me asking for $25, they would give me 20 anyway when I dropped them off.
Oh, shit.
And then they would tell me, "Well, what are you doing tomorrow?" And instead of me going to the hotel the next day like I usually do, I had a job.
Hey, you lined up.
My objective was to make $200 a night at that time.
Oh,
that was it.
Big money.
I was happy.
Yeah.
So now, instead of me going from the hotel to the airport, and then not to get off the subject, part of my marketing was when I took somebody from the hotel to Kennedy Airport, it was like $50 at a time. Because the doorman would tell the customer, the guest, you going to the airport? They go, yeah. Go, you want to take a limo for the same price? And the customer go, yeah, of course. Now they go to the airport in a limo instead of a yellow taxi.
So much.
And it's fucking me. So now I would drop them off. And in those days, I'm thinking about it now, and I'm laughing because I get a kick out of thinking. I would park the limo. I would make a sign saying Smith on my sign.
Yep.
I'll run around the baggage area and say, Smith. There was no Smith. And people are hearing me saying Smith. And then I'll say out loud, anybody going to Manhattan want to ride? Just give me $25, $40.
Oh, genius.
And then I'll get 2 couples. I'll get $70.
Bro.
I'll go to Manhattan, give them a nice ride. I'm not ripping them off, right? But now I got $120 in the bank because I took somebody for $40.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden, I go to the hotel. It's 7:00. It's theater time. Drop some over theater, make my $200, and then if I want to go home, I go home. Or I'll wait till 10:00 and pick them at the theater. And that's how I built it up.
Everybody wants their name on that card. Like, hey, I'm the important guy that's getting picked up by the limo.
Yeah, and there was a Seinfeld episode one time with the sign. They got in the car. George Costanza got in the car, but he wasn't his car. It was a famous Seinfeld. I used to laugh because I always in those days you never checked for ID.
Sure, no.
You know, and I always wondered. When I worked for a limousine company, if I got the right person. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I never got the wrong person.
Oh my gosh.
You know, but that's how it was. You know, and when I worked at Ritz-Carlton Hotel, a lot of celebrities. The Ritz-Carlton was famous for celebrities. You know, I drove Billy Crystal. Oh. Billy Crystal was a regular, normal guy. He always wanted a taxi. One day, all of a sudden, he tells the doorman, "Where's George?" And I was putting people in the car because I need a ride.
Nice.
Now he wants to ride, but I got somebody in the car.
Yeah. Of
So
course.
all of a sudden, he tells me, "Can you take me first?" I go, "Bill, let me talk to the people." So now I open the door. I tell people they're looking like I'm crazy. I'm saying, "Can I give a friend of mine a ride?" And I said, "Billy Crystal." Oh my God, Billy Crystal. They're taking pictures. In those days, they call their camera,
Yep.
and then Billy wants to go first. They were from Iowa, I think, somewhere in the Midwest. That made their whole trip.
Oh, that's
But going
nice.
back to I'm very blessed. I feel, doing this with my company.
You are. But
That's it.
sometimes we get these people that are just a little bit unreasonable. What do clients expect sometimes that are impossible to deliver?
Mike, let me tell you, on Google. I'm 5.0. I had I had one person, no, two. One was I don't care. She was a bridezilla. She was her. You know, there was construction going to pick her up. We had to go around. So we were 5 minutes late, but it wasn't our fault because they closed the street.
Of course.
We don't know that. And I was very good to her. And I'm the kind of person that if you call me to complain, if I don't get many, I'll give you a free ride. Just
Oh,
to, I admit when we're wrong, not a problem.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But this lady didn't even give me a chance. I get a Google alert, and I couldn't sleep for a week because I had a
Oh,
5.0,
yeah.
and she gave me that review, and I was devastated.
Oh, dude.
And then on top of that, she tells me that because I spoke to her, and she tells me on the Google, well, I think George learned his lesson. Oh,
Oh, that's a stab in the
yeah,
heart.
yeah, that was it, Mike. I was like so now. And then I had a guy. I don't do contracts. I just send confirmations
Yeah, sure.
for weddings because people. I still look at my reviews.
Yeah.
I just don't do. I try to do a contract, but it doesn't make a difference to me. So this guy was so mad that I didn't give him a contract. He put that on my Google,
Like that's
review.
somehow a negative.
Yeah, and I was upset because I'm not that tech savvy. That's my only fault with this company, my company, because I'm not tech savvy. And if I believe if I was tech savvy, it'd be different. I'll be
You're on
definitely.
your way. You've come a long way in a few years.
Yeah, but that's what my son. He's tech savvy. That's why I know he can take it to the next level.
Nice.
You know, that's more or less it.
What would
You know,
surprise your customers about how this industry really works?
say it again, Mike. I'm sorry.
What would surprise your customers about how this industry really works versus what they see?
Well, I guess just, like Uber came out and perfect example. If my phone rings at 5 o'clock in the morning, it's a customer who called Uber and Uber didn't show up.
Yep.
Now,
Guaranteed.
now sometimes I'm doing a job, so I'm coming back from a job,
Yeah.
and I hear them, oh please, please, and I'll pick them up. You know what I mean? But you know what? I'll do it, and I'll charge my fare, right? And then we get into, Uber's not going to do it. Why'd you take a chance? They go, oh, I'm stupid. But that's how it is. But
Yeah.
going back to that, I guess they expect just good service
Mm-hmm.
and I'm the type of person. If I'm going to be 5 minutes late, they're going to get a text from me. I'm running 5 minutes late.
Beautiful.
You know what I mean? I tell
Totally
my
reasonable.
customers, I tell my drivers, you better not have a customer call me that you're running late. Either you contact them yourself or you call me and say, George, I'm running late.
Yeah.
One of us got to tell
Let
the
them
customer.
know.
Yeah.
Communication.
And I'm a firm believer. Oh, yeah, I communicate. I'm a little crazy with that because I
Me
make
too.
sure everything, I send pictures of the car, picture of the driver.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of companies don't do what I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When a customer calls at the airport, I'm like 30 seconds away hiding. So when they call, I'm there like a minute.
Yeah.
Other guys just wait like 10 minutes away, and they'll get there when they get there. I'm not like that. My drivers, I train my drivers.
Hmm.
I want to be treated the same way like that when I'm out.
Exactly.
you know?
Exactly.
But,
What do you ever feel any pressure from customers to like oversell your services? Kind of like there's always something they want that's maybe tougher to get in reality. Like maybe it's a time constraint or like.
Mike, you know what drives me crazy in this business?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Why do they always pick on the limo companies for a deal? You know what I mean? They want a deal,
Yeah.
and then I go to the house. It's a
Mansion.
$5 million house, and they bargain me for $10. That pisses me off.
Oh.
And that's a new customer. You know what I mean?
Oh.
But I just let it go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm saying, my God, they don't tell the United Airlines, hey, can I pay $199 for this seat? You know what I mean? But they do it to GK Limousine. They do it to the limousine industry.
Yes. Yes.
And I always, when I first started this business, I always said to myself, I can't wait till people pay my price, or I don't want them.
Right.
But I always felt like I guess this is my nature. I like to, what's the right word?
You're like a
Uh,
giver.
yeah, no, I like to negotiate.
Negotiate. Yep.
Yeah, so that's what I do.
I got to get you a nice background like Mike has.
Oh,
Baby, you're messing me on live TV. I'm
oh,
on
it's
Channel 4.
beautiful. It's beautiful. Thank you, Annie.
Can,
All right.
can I tell the truth? Get back in the kitchen. No, now I'm getting my ass kicked.
Yes. Yeah, every time I mouth off like that, I'm going to get in trouble too. All right. A quick.
All you see is black eye.
Yes. Yes. All right. Quick break. This show is sponsored by Yeet Websites. Yes, it's my company, which is why I made sure white glove service comes with every package at no extra charge. Whether it's a new website, getting found on Google, or both, we'll take care of you. Check out our case studies to learn more. YeetWebsites.com. All right, let's get back into it, George. What keeps you up at night, even though you sure do look like you have it together?
No, I sleep pretty good, but I do all the early jobs because I used to be up. So I'm saying if I'm up, I might as well do the job. I'll give it to, and my driver has to call me or text me. It's on his way. They have rules. So that keep me up. I sleep good when there's no cars out. When the cars are out, I don't sleep good.
Interesting.
They might need me.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And they're like my children. My children are out. I can't sleep.
I know. I'm the same way. My kids are now teenagers. It's like they're driving on their own. It's hard to sleep when they're out.
Yeah.
How many cars you rolling these days?
Well, I have 5 of mine,
Nice.
but I have about 10 independent guys I use. And I like
Wow.
COVID kind of helped me.
Good.
It made me do something that I didn't want to do because I wanted to get rid of some cars, but it's hard to get rid of things because you're afraid.
Mm-hmm.
With COVID, I had no choice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I was very happy because now I see the difference. And I have a good crew. I call my team the A team.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So that's, and all my drivers are real good. I won't, if a driver's bad, they're gone. They're finished.
Yeah. But it is incredibly difficult to find good help.
Yeah, no, but you know what? Since I drive a lot, I watch drivers wash their car. I have most of my drivers that I watch them, and I sit and I look at them. I go, "Who do you work for?"
Yeah.
Oh, I work for this company. I'm independent. That's all right. And then, you know how I test them? I usually give them one of my family members or my sister.
Oh, that's so smart.
Pick up, and then and then we test them because they'll say to them stuff like, "Here's my number. Can I have your number?" And if they say they get the number, he's gone. You know what I mean? They don't know that I'm doing that.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Most of them say no. You got to call George. And no matter what, I know I got a lower person.
You've got to do that. Huh.
Yeah.
Before you started, what did you think? Because you were in taxi, obviously. Then you went to limo. What did you think you wanted to be or dream about being? Was it always like an entrepreneur like this?
No, I was supposed to become when I worked for the limousine company, I took the test for the state trooper.
Oh, cool.
And I passed.
Huh.
And then I all of a sudden I had to lose like 30 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the academy and I passed the physical, but they said I was too big. So I told them I'd lose the weight. Because I used to play basketball. I was an athlete when I was younger. Not no more. So now I always wonder how my life would have been as a trooper.
Yeah.
But they canceled the class. Right before they canceled on a Friday, I was supposed to go there Monday. And I always wondered how my life would have been. I never would have met my wife.
Right.
I'd probably be in Buffalo.
Right.
With an Eskimo. Here I am with my wife, my kids. Life is planned ahead for you.
Yes.
That's how
What has this business kind of cost you? Because every business has a price, right? Either it's relationships or health or hobbies, and it might be a good cost. It might not be a negative. What have you been given?
The only negative I see is that I got big because I'm sitting around. Now I'm better. I lost 100 pounds.
Nice.
Because now I go. We have a gym called Lifetime that's all over the city, all over the country.
We have it here too.
Right. So I go to Lifetime all over the place. When I drop someone off at Kennedy Airport, I go to the one in Garden City. Before I go somewhere to eat, read my paper. So I changed my habits. You know what I mean? And that's the only bad thing. But now it got better. But in hindsight, I just wish I would have probably not get as big as I was,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But now,
Well, now you're working on it.
yeah, that's it. I was like 420. I'm like 310 now,
Oh
315.
man, you're on your way.
Yeah, but I still got to lose more. I want to travel,
That's crazy. So, a lot of times I'll ask right now, when's the last time you took a vacation when you didn't have to
Yeah,
worry?
well, you know what? It's so funny, Mike, because the last time I went on vacation was last January with my kids and their boyfriend and girlfriend. The six of us went to Key West.
Hmm.
Now we're going to Puerto Rico in March,
Nice.
and for like 5 days, and I can't wait for that. But I do like 2 day vacations.
Perfect.
One day, with the wife, we go to the city, go see a Broadway show.
Mm-hmm.
I have a customer he runs a hotel, so we do a barter. We just saw Hamilton. I'm into Broadway shows. I love Broadway shows.
Nice.
So I do a lot of that. We have I call it a 48 hour vacations. And I'm good with that. You know what I mean?
If you
Some
can
of
just
it-
get away and connect,
yeah, that's why I want my
that's
son to take over, so I can just turn the phone off and he takes over.
well, and also if your business could truly run without you, and you don't have to worry, that's
Right. Well,
beautiful.
yeah. Well, it's good because when I give my drivers the jobs, they have the rules to do, so that I never get a phone call from the customer. And I'll text the customer how was Mikey, how was Ray,
Mhm.
and I get a personal text from them. I don't like that order AI
Yes.
text. It's from me. Hi, this is George. How did everything go?
Yes.
And then they'll respond to me. And after every job, an hour later, 2 hours later, or the next day, I contact my customer.
What?
You know.
Because this whole world is going that way, and it kind of breaks my heart. Like, obviously, I'm in the internet business. I would love it for the whole thing to just crash and us all get back to like normal life, like back in the when
Right.
Gen X when we
Yeah.
were growing up in the 70s, 80s, 90s. Those were the heydays.
Right,
What do
we
you
didn't know
think's
how good we had it.
changed in a way that it just isn't as beneficial for everybody as people to connect?
Right. I heard a lot of these new parents are not letting their kids have cell phones till like they're 14 or 15, which is great.
Yes.
I think it's the best thing to do. Even 16, but there's so much peer pressure. Our peer pressure was buying a good pair of sneakers.
Yep.
You had to have Converse or Pro Keds.
Yeah.
If you had the other kind of sneakers, your friends goofed on you. You know what
Or
I
if
mean?
you shopped at Kmart.
Right. But that's the kind of pressure we had. Peer pressure.
That's
You know what
right.
I mean? That was it.
That's right.
If you don't have an iPhone now, I can imagine what these kids go
Oh
through.
gosh, you better have the whatever big number is. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't mess with all that. Has what you love about the work changed over time, or is it about the same?
Well, it's been, well, you know what? It's been worse, the traffic in Manhattan, before I can move.
Interesting.
I can move. I used to love, now, thank God for satellite radio too, because that calms me down. I put my Frank Sinatra on when I'm in traffic, like 60 stations, and I just relax.
Nice.
But man, in the old days, you could move. And now they got the speed limit in Manhattan. You can't go faster than 25, or else they'll send you a ticket in the mail.
Oh.
That's crazy.
Oh.
And congestion pricing, I mean, forget about it.
And I'm sure they charge you more because you're a commercial vehicle.
Oh yeah, $9. Oh, $12. You know what I mean? If you go below 61st Street, I dropped the customer off on 60th Street, 62nd Street, because they had to go one more block. I said, I don't mind taking you. You want to? Because I said, you want to stay? So yeah, they walked. We started laughing. I should have videotaped them because if you pass this light, they charge. It's a toll.
It's bizarre.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
They just want to make money off you.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then you don't mind, like the government is like. It's too, everything is they waste too much money, and I know that.
Yeah.
I don't mind giving money if it's spent the right way.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And that's what drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Like when you go to motor vehicles, I don't know how it is in Tennessee, but in New York, you got to get a ticket, so they make you wait online, and they have one person in the information booth. So now I'm waiting online for like a half hour, 40 minutes to get my ticket, and then I sit down, and in 5 minutes they call me. So I asked the lady, the supervisor, said, why can't you put 5 people in information booth so I can get my ticket in 2 minutes and I can sit down for 40 minutes? And it's the same 45 minutes.
Right.
But now I'm relaxed.
Right.
And then I tell her, I tell her, I never forget. I said, I said, you know why you don't do that? She goes, why? I said, because it makes sense.
Yeah, there's no
That's
common
why.
sense in a government agency.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And when they're employees, they don't really care.
No,
You know,
no, they don't.
if it's private, you get fired, things like that. You know,
So we're looking at almost 40 years you've been doing this. If you can go back in time, I mean, this is the dream, right? When you first started, and tell yourself something about your business that could just change your trajectory, what would you say?
uh, that's a tough one. I think I did it. Well, I never started with no money. That's the whole thing. I just the money I made. I got everything was leasing in those days.
Hmm.
You put no money down, and you get a car. You see, I always felt if I had money, like a good chunk to start with, I would do. I would be in. I'd probably be. My business would probably be a different business.
Hmm.
I always wanted to have. The most I ever had was 6 cars, but I always wanted to have 10 cars, stretches, sedans. I had 6, but I always wanted to never get bigger than 10 because you can't have personalized service when you're that big.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's the problem.
I just want to have enough to say, okay, I'm good, and that's where I am now. In a way,
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy. You know what I mean? And when the COVID hit, I had no business for years. Nobody was traveling, but I knew I had my customers. A lot of limousine companies went down. You know what I mean? But not me. I'm here.
People still had to get somewhere, and they're like, all right, let's call it George.
Yeah, that's it.
That's crazy. Wow. So,
But
what?
yeah, I'm sorry.
What? Oh, you're fine. What are you too scared to change, even though you know you should, about your business?
To go all go all independent and not drive no more. You know what I mean? And just be like a broker.
Yes.
I'm like 25% broker. About 35% of my business is independent operators.
Mm-hmm.
The rest is my drivers and me.
Yeah.
But I always want to try it out for 6 months. But I can't because I got to pay the cars. I got to pay the insurance.
Yep.
So I just can't get rid of them.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
But we'll see what happens one day.
Interesting. Yeah. So, because you brought up a good point. When you scale, the personalization goes down when you get too big, and so you would have to somehow find a system in place. Like how McDonald's makes the same hamburger, even though it's a crappy hamburger. Your service would be an amazing service with more drivers. You just have to figure out that system.
Right. Yeah. Well, you know what's funny? Like I said, this is what I want to do, but I don't know how to. I'm just a basic guy. I pick up people, but I would like to have I have a logo called GI Joe. I want to hire all veterans.
Nice.
Right, in Rockland County here.
Yep.
And have a GI. Everybody has to be a veteran, and give them half the business. We share the business.
Yes.
And I use all these guys, and when they get in the back of the car, there'll be a program. George Karam, Vietnam veteran.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Love it.
And then because a lot of parents don't want their daughters in a car with the Uber.
Yeah, because it's freaky. Yep.
Right. So now they know they call GI Joe. They're getting a veteran, and now I'm giving these guys.
I think it's genius.
I'm giving half the company.
Yep.
So all in it together.
And there's their why. They're going to care.
Right. And then I want them to have only American cars.
Yep.
Because I figured that GI Joe, because Rockland County is very conservative.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
And I think it'd be a big hit here. Sometimes I want to contact somebody. I want to go to business school, tell them to do this business plan and start out, and just sit back and just see it go. Because I know it'll be a big hit. GI Joe.
You got to do it. Get your son on it too.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm like Jackie Gleason with all these ideas. That's what they call. I know it's a big hit. Yeah, it's like not to go off the rails, but to me, it's a simple thing with the immigration problem. I have the answer. I talk to these guys, and they tell me things like, all we have to do is that people. I believe that most people are good.
Yep.
Okay. Most 9 out of 10 are good.
Yeah.
The people that have been here for a lot of years, they got families. They have to give them a card saying, give them like 3 months to sign up, charge them $10,000, right? And what they do is they get they can't have no record, but they have to be here before 2021, before the immigration happened. And these guys tell me they'll pay $10,000, payable 3 years, just to be legal, because they send their money to countries, and they look over their shoulder. They're tired of that, and they'll pay it and take all that money and put it in Social Security for us. It's a win-win.
Yeah.
These guys tell me, not one person ever said they wouldn't do it, and then hire retired police officers to what do you call, to like a parole officer. How's your family? How long you been here? That's all. And then in 3 months you get your card. And then the guys who have records, they're put to the side. You know what I mean? I don't want to go off the rails, but that's a big thing, because I see what's happening out there and I feel bad.
Yeah.
You know?
In all these years, has anything almost made you want to quit being a limo driver?
Nah.
I love it.
Never. Nope.
Yeah. That's
to me, it's like I said, I'm not working. I'm just hanging out.
Yeah.
You know? That's it. I've been very fortunate. I raised a family, put my kids to college.
Yep.
I'm not a rich man. I'm just paying the bills. That's it. I want my kids to get to the next level.
That's beautiful. That's how I feel too. Every generation should be better than us.
Exactly. I'll bring them to the water. They have to drink it.
Yes, that is the problem. That is what needs to happen. What would need to change for someone else to run your company? Obviously, it would have to be family, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think I have a couple of drivers that are good, but I guess I would like to be family, because I feel like that all my work paid off.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I can probably sell my company now for a little money, but it's better to have my family. I want my son to drive it. I mean, work here, own the company, because he doesn't have to work as hard as I do.
Right.
Everything is set up for him.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I told his fiancée that I want her to work and have my son stay home and take care of the kids, Mr. Mom, because with this he can take care of the kids, farm it out, do certain jobs in between the kids in school.
Mm-hmm.
And he laughs. He starts thinking about it. That's why I got to finesse him.
Nice, nice. It'll happen if it's meant to happen. It'll happen. But it is a beautiful thing to be able to pass something down that you put your heart and soul into.
Well, yeah, definitely. I get a little nostalgic. I hope that he takes it over.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens.
What gets you fired up these days about work? What gets you up in the morning?
Certain customers.
Nice.
I got some customers I just love driving. You know, like I've always liked the self-made man that made money. That was a regular guy.
Yep.
And he made it. Those guys. I learned that when I went to chauffeur school. When a guy with money, when I would take him to the restaurant, and he'll go to me, George, here's $20. Go get lunch or go get dinner. That guy was a guy like me.
Yeah.
You see, the wealthy people that inherit their money, they ain't worth a shit.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm telling you, the people that self-made and made their money, I love those guys.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I've had plenty of those guys. You know what I mean? And and like I said before, you know what? Well, probably the highlight of my limousine company was about 2 years ago. I used to drive a guy called Charles Oakley of the Knicks, okay? And I drove him for 10 years. We had some relationship. First time I ever drove him, I gave it to my drivers. One day, I couldn't get a driver. Every driver jumped for this guy, Charles Oakley of the Knicks. So then we had a relationship with we were like, forget about it. I drove him, Michael Jordan.
Nice.
So then he got traded. Even when they traded him, I told him, Mike, I said, George Karam said it's a good move for the Knicks. GK Limousine is going to miss you, but the Knicks got to make that move. You're getting old. Because we frank.
Nice.
He's like, hey, George, you ain't right. Make a long story short, about 2 years ago, I hear the radio that he's going to be on a book signing in my neighborhood. And I haven't heard from him like about 4 or 5 years.
Sure.
So I go there, and I see him, and he goes, "Are you still rolling?" I go, "Yeah." So I buy his book, I'm reading the back of the book, Michael. Never in my life do I read the glossary.
Sure.
That's why I believe in God. I'm reading the glossary on my recliner in the snowstorm, and he's talking about the New York Giants. Shout out to this. And then the next line says, to George, the best limo driver in the world or the country. I freaked out.
Oh.
I went like this. Oh, my God. I was almost crying.
Yeah.
It was snowing. It was like 4:30 in the morning. I'm reading my book.
Picturesque.
Yeah. And that's when I said, you know what, George, you did the right thing. You chose the right profession.
Yeah.
You know what? And I got on my iPhone the book. You know, he said that. And I mean, that was the highlight. You know what I mean? But I mean, there are a lot of other things too. I drove. Like I can tell you, like I can tell stories. People say I should write a book with the celebrities I drove.
Absolutely, that would.
I drove Lionel Richie.
Yes.
For a week. He wanted to go to an Italian restaurant, Mike. And this restaurant was very hot. You couldn't get in. But, you know, with a limo, and he's a celebrity.
Yeah.
But I go in there. I said, let's try. Because I couldn't get him on the phone. I go in the restaurant. I go, listen, I got Lionel Richie in the car. I go, but he has no jacket. You need a jacket to get into the restaurant.
Oh, it's one of those. Sure.
Yeah. So the guy goes to me, we have jackets, so bring him in. I said, okay, no problem. So I go to the door, opens the window. I go, listen, Lionel, we got good news and bad news. He goes, what happened? I go, I got you in. He goes, oh, great. I go, what's the bad news? He doesn't know who the hell Lionel Richie is. I told him he was Smokey Robinson. Oh, he went crazy. He goes, oh! He started laughing. That was a good moment too in my life. Yeah.
Man, so you've seen it, and it's been a part of your life this whole time.
Yeah.
And you know, thank you, George, for not giving me the bullshit LinkedIn answers. But before we wrap up, I think it's so important. What do you want people to remember about GK Limousine?
That we always did the right thing. You know, I mean, always did the right thing. You know, and if something happens, just own up to it. It's very rarely something happens. I'm always on top of things. But when it does, you got to say, listen, you know, you got a free limo to the airport. You got this, blah, blah, blah. Just do the right thing. I always said that. You know, you just can't hide. And I believe in the customer's always right. To them. But in my mind, I says, I don't think so. But, you know, but that's how it is. You know, that's about it, Mike.
Wow.
I think.
Thank you so much,
Oh, it was a
George.
pleasure.
This has been Yeet Talk, where people get honest. Thank you.
You got it, Mike. Take care, buddy.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure.
Appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.